Hey, welcome to Fox 17 Rock and Review on the web and YouTube. And I'm hanging out with my buddy Ric Latina. He's been here in the Nashville market, 25 years playing professionally with Susie Boggess, Gary Puckett, Hank III, Billy Dean, a lot of great musicians. Yeah, and you're still doing a lot of great work now with a lot of musicians here in town, doing the blues thing and all that. And you know pedals. Probably better than anybody I know.
Yeah,
You've had
have quite a few pedals. Yeah.
You know, and so we're talking about TC Electronic today with one of the pedals that you and I really got hooked on. And we were talking earlier off camera about where it was mentioned.
The Ditto, yeah. As soon as I heard about him on at the NAMM show, the Winter NAMM, I said, man, this is great, because I was writing some tunes, and I said, man, if I could just lay down a couple of tracks.
And then you had to wait like 2 months for the
pedal
to actually come out.
And that was like 2 months for it to come out, and then I found out it was so cheap anyway.
And I want to make sure that all of our viewers know also, Ric, that the opening licks that you were playing, you built those on that little Ditto pedal right here. And how many layers?
I did about 4 layers. You know, rhythm track. Then I tuned down 2 strings for a little bass kind of feel.
And it sounds incredible, and all with this and 1 guitar. Now, can you explain a little bit? Now, I know we've got 5 minutes of looping time, but can you explain to viewers like on the...
It's 5 minutes of looping time. It's 24-bit. You don't lose any sound, no degradation or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's got a redo and an undo function. It's so easy to use. You tap it once, put your track in, tap it again, it stops. You know, hit it again if you want to overdub on that. And if you... While it's playing back, if you want to redo that, just hold it down, and it will clear the track if you want to redo whatever you just did, and still hold the other stuff. And also it has a redo function where you can hold just a little patch of it if you just want to keep the first part of it. And then, it also does that, so it's really, really cool. And also, when you turn it off, it'll save the last program. You don't have to, you know, most of them, as soon as you power down, you lose it. You lose it.
Yeah. Well, it's come such a far way. And, you know, we were talking when Victor Wooten was in the other day about the loopers. And I know that you have used them for a long time as well. But having something in this small a container with a button for off and on and a knob for volume.
I know. It'll fit on any pedal board. I mean, you know. It's,
and you do a lot of flyaway gigs, too.
Yeah,
so
fly dates. You can, you know, if you're a single act, you know, you just want to...
You know what you brought up to me also when you first got the pedal in, Ric, and you were messing around with it at home in your studio, and you said it was great for songwriters.
Yeah, I'll just do a track, or maybe 2 tracks or something like that. You could, it's unlimited possibilities, because you know, and I'll just send that off to, I'll hold my iPhone up to it and send it off to a writer if she's not there or he's not there.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, and also, you know, as a practice tool. You know, because when I was messing around with it, I thought, man, this is great to where you can lay down some rhythm parts and just play against them.
Yeah, it's great practice. You could plug a little mixer into it and sing, you know, and
That's
play
amazing.
If you wanted to.
Well, you know, we went ahead and also brought some of the other TC Electronic ones too, Ric, which you and I have discussed. Like last year when they launched out the original Flashback pedal here that has the delay and looper built in. And so that's one of the original tone print pedals that came out last year. It's been a huge success for TC Electronic. And then as we go over here, we've got their bigger one, the Flashback ×4. And this one actually has 16 delays in it.
It's a great unit.
It's got 4 different tone print slots. And then it has 3 preset switches as well. You can do the looping. And so it's really taking the place of several pedals. And it's got you know, the computer out, the MIDI through. As you and I were talking, it's sort of trying to take the place of some other pedals that do this.
Right. The bigger size, yeah.
That you've used, but it's doing multi-functions. But I mean, this is sort of like the evolution of what TC Electronic has done. And this is the big guy that came out at the Winter NAMM show in Anaheim. And then obviously the Ditto, which we have up front, has won a number of awards.
Right, I've got a few of their pedals. They're all great pedals.
And they're built like tanks, but I mean, it's just great products. You can find the TC Electronic pedals, you know, online and at most local music stores. I know World Music in Nashville carries them. I believe Rock Block does also. And I've been very impressed with them, haven't you, Ric?
They're great pedals. The looper thing is, I use it every day, probably.
Well, you know, like you said, it was so funny when
practice, or you know,
when the ads started coming out, and you're like, I gotta get one of these.
I'm like, and then I found out they're so cheap. Yeah. They're not even expensive. You know?
For the price. You know, I was talking with Laura, one of the people over at TC Electronic, and she said they can't even keep them in stock.
Yeah, I'm sure you can.
It's been so popular.
I'm sure you can.
And speaking of so popular, you've been playing locally with a lot of bands.
Been doing a few things. I play with a jazz bass player, Sean O'Brien Smith. We have a new record coming out. Let's see, I guess it'll be out to June 4th, I believe.
Okay.
I do a band project called Markey Blue. We have a new record coming out. I've co-wrote and co-produced all that stuff. And that should be out sometime in September.
Now, when viewers are trying to find out more about you, where's the best place to find out about Ric Latina?
My place is Ric Latina on Facebook, or Markey Blue, www.markeyblue.com if you want, or Reverb Nation, any of that stuff.
And you're gigging all around the Nashville market and
gigging
just
around,
everywhere.
Yeah, we're doing all kinds of stuff. Yeah, and doing plus sessions and stuff. So I'm trying to stay busy.
In your own studio.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining me, Rick.
All righty.
Appreciate it. And be sure and check out the TC Electronic pedals, and especially this Ditto looper. Per what Rick and I were talking about, I think you'll be impressed. And thank you for watching the Fox 17 Rock and Review.